All right, so I realize I say so a lot. Okay. Trading psychology is very, very important in trading. And in fact, it is 90% of what we are doing. Like 40% is how you manage your risk, which is also part of trading psychology. And then the remaining 50% is your emotions. Trading psychology, that's real trading emotions and their solution. So my goal with this class is to help you to identify those things that you might be doing that you don't know that you are doing, or those things that are happening that, or you don't know why they are happening. We'll go over them. But first of all, why is trading psychology important? Why is it so important? It's because trading psychology represents every aspect of the individual's character, um, characters and their behaviors, the behaviors that affect their trading decisions. So as traders, we are always taking decisions when it comes to our trading, our markup. Like, we're always, analyzing and seeing that, okay, am I going to decide to take this trade at this point? Which one am I deciding to leave? Which one am I monitoring? Which one am I looking at and waiting for it to be ready? Which one is ready? So you are deciding at which point in time you want to take those trades and what you are leaving out. Trading psychology also describes how a trader handles generating their gains and handling their losses. It represents their ability to deal with risk. Okay, because risk management is very important. That's the most important thing, because you might have the best working strategy, but poor risk management, and it's not worth it. All your what's it called? All the trouble you went through to get that proper education, to know about technical analysis, to be drawing trend lines, to be seeing market structure, to be seeing the major and the minor structure, everything would have just been for nothing if you don't use proper risk management. I'll go at the end of this, I'm going to share how to write your trading plan. I'll share a few things concerning your trading plan. So what is trading psychology? Trading psychology, I think we just said this. All right. So it also refers to the emotional component of a trader's decision-making process that determines the success or failure of the trade. So what did we just explain? Again, why is it important? It is because we all have that natural inclination to win. We are humans. Okay, no one likes to take a loss. Nobody, especially since when we were in school, secondary school, university, we don't, and we take, and we do competitions. We don't really like to lose. Nobody likes to lose. And in this market where there is a lot of tendencies, and there's a lot of probability that there's a probability that you are going to lose. It's very important that you take your trading, your psychology seriously. Okay, so many people always equate losing to taking a loss on a trade, and this leads to a terrible habit of holding losing trades for too long or adding on to losing positions. Okay, so it is very the reason why we are taking psychology serious is so that we're able to handle all of these things when they come our way. So many inexperienced traders always define their winning as closing out a profitable trade every single time, which, okay, I think I wanted to write that you should have a goal for yourself. And at the end of the day, at the end of this class, you will see that part of the trading plan is to have a goal, a trading goal. So winning is part of the game. Losing is also part of it. But what you are going to have to do with your risk management is to make sure that your losses are not more than your win. Your wins by far surpass your losses. And it is very possible that you don't lose a trade in a whole month, in a week, or even like as a trader. It is possible. I truly, truly believe that it is possible that you do not lose a trade. And how don't you do that? It is when you stick with your plan and you only take trades that you are extremely sure of, right? That you've dotted your I's, you've crossed your T's, you've done everything that you need to do, and you follow that plan. And if eventually you follow that plan and the trade still goes the other way, at the end of the day, you didn't lose because you stuck to your plan, right? You stuck to your plan. And again, when you see that setup again, you are going to hit that trade and it's going to, you know, end up being like a winning week. So that takes us to the two most important emotions that a lot of people face in trading. This is very common. Every single trader has faced this or is facing this. Gift, welcome. Please mute your mic.
Okay.
Is fear and greed. These are like the two alumni of trading emotions. They are like the OGs. Okay, they are the OGs of trading. And it has led a lot of people to blown accounts and different things. So, and the reason why they are there is because, like, sometimes fear can be a good thing, but that is when you have mastered how to overcome it, right? Because if it wasn't there before, you won't understand how to overcome that fear. Okay, all my, like, you know, all my Christian life, I have been studying the difference between faith and fear. Faith and fear, faith and fear, faith and fear. I'm always like what's the difference? I'm always comparing both of them. And I've come to realize, like, faith, the Bible talks about faith being the substance of things not seen and the evidence of things not seen. Like that, substance of things hoped for, oh God, and the evidence of things not seen, right? So you don't see it, but you know that it is there. You know that it is there. Just think about it, like in the court of law, they are always asking for evidence. What's the evidence that this man committed the crime? So let's say they are trying somebody for killing someone with a gun. The evidence that he killed would be the gun, right? They are not seeing him killing him right now. They are not seeing it. But because they have that evidence of the gun, they know that he killed it. So the faith, the evidence is there, right? So your belief is the evidence. You know that that thing is there. The faith that you have that this thing is going to happen is there. And the Bible further went on to say that faith comes by hearing, and hearing by the word of God. So it is the information that you keep feeding yourself, that you keep feeding your mind. That is what will grow your faith. That's what will grow your mindset to be able to believe that there is to be able to grow that thing in you, to say, okay, I believe that this exists. I believe that I'm going to reach my goal. So once you start getting positive information and getting the word of God in you and understanding everything that it is saying, you know, your faith will grow. Okay. Same thing with fear. Same thing. Okay. Fear is fear is also And evidence, you're also scared of something that you have not seen. You're also scared of something that you have not seen. That emotion is there. It has not happened, but you've not seen it. If you say it has happened in the past and you're scared it to happen again, faith is the same way. Good things have happened to you in the past too. So why don't you believe that another good thing will happen to you? So fear is also, you also feed fear by the information that you receive. You know too much, basically. You know too much. You feed on, you hear different words, you feed your spirit with different things that are not supposed to be in line with you. So faith comes by hearing, and hearing by the word of God. Fear comes by hearing, and hearing by the word of the devil. Just opposites. The same, they do the same thing. Faith is positive, fear is really negative. And you don't feed your fear at all. You starve it and you feed your faith. That's the only way to eliminate the fear. Greed with trading also is very easy for traders to be greedy, because the market is limitless. Okay, the market is limitless. Like you can, especially if you are scalping, people that usually scalp, you can be making, and are very good at it, not, scalp one and lose one. You can make like an unlimited amount of money. The market is moving even during the holiday. The stock market didn't move as much today because there was a holiday today in the US, but the forex market was moving, is moving. So the possibilities are endless. So that tendency of having greed will definitely come into play. So now that you understand that greed is there, right, and it's going to come in while you are trading, you need to be able to identify it when it comes and manage it. You are in control of your own trading. Know that you are in control of your trading. You're in control of your account. You're in control of your decisions. You don't let your emotions control you. And these two, they have the power to, take over and let you just take irrational decisions. So the fear that traders go through, they go through different types of fears. The fear of being wrong, the fear of missing opportunities. I have been through all of these things. And sometimes right now in my trading stage, in my age, I still feel some of these things, but I've been able to understand it and see it creeping in, and then I'm able to just like shake it off. But the first step was to be able to identify that I had the fear of being wrong. I don't like to be wrong, even in real life. Like I didn't like to be wrong. I didn't like corrections. I say I didn't because I've worked on it, right? I didn't like to be wrong, and nobody likes to miss opportunities. Okay, nobody likes to miss. When you see something happening, you want to be a part of it, especially something that will make you money. You want to be a part of that thing. Nobody likes to miss it. So when a trade is going, like in the signal group now, that okay, maybe somebody missed a trade, you already saw it, and you're like, let me quickly jump in before it hits TP2, or before it hits this thing, and maybe it's halfway to TP2 and then it does a massive pullback back to the entry. You are the one that will be in the losing side, because those people that entered at the right time, they still have like enough room before their account is in red. So you are now in heavy drawdown and you are panicking, closing it, opening it, closing it, opening it. So FOMO, fear of missing out, is very real, and you need to understand it, that it is real. So I'm going to share what you can do to overcome all of these things soon. So I'm just listing them out now. We also have the fear of trading, right? This happens when you are like, you have trading or analysis paralysis, where maybe you had a losing streak. Okay, you had a losing streak, and then before you take another trade, it's going to take a while because you're like, I'm not touching you. So the example I would give is my recent example with US 30. So in March or so, I started trading US 30 again after months of leaving it alone. So because I had left it alone for a long time, it took me a while to come back to trade it. And why did I leave it alone? Because I lost money trading it. So I realized like I had to conquer this US 30 fear, because it's a fear and I should not have any fear of trading at all. So I was able to take, like, that's why I was like, oh, I'm taking my first trade on US 30. It's not really my first US 30 trade per se, but I feel like in this new dawn of not fearing trading, I started taking it again. I started trading it in March. And since I've been able to understand how to apply myself to the markets and, you know, just take it step by step and not rush it and not be too greedy. When you're trading indices, those things come to play a lot. In fact, everything, not just indices. So we also have the fear of losing. Nobody loves nobody loves losing their money. Nobody likes to lose. You know, like I mentioned earlier, nobody really likes to lose their money, and especially if you've seen the red before and lost, like, you know, a lot of money. Doing it again will put that fear in you. And when it comes to greed also, the greediness is over trading. I had a problem with this. Like, once I once I hit my, you know, take profit or I close out a trade, I'll still be looking at that trade to enter again. What is it doing? I want to just, you know, maximize everything. There is a room for that if you're able to do that well, which I've been able to master. But there are times where I know just to leave something alone, just leave the trade alone. Just leave it alone. I like, once you've taken your profit, just leave it alone. Okay, except another alert rings and you want to you've already had the setup before, but any impromptu thing you're jumping in is like a recipe for disaster, you know. Or even opening multiple trades and then managing multiple trades. That's why I'm just sticking with GJ and gold, because they are a handful on their own, both of them. So you know, and let's say I'm placing a trade with GJ, you know, if you noticed last week with that GJ, because it's the recent example, I was only focusing on it mainly, you know. I just gave out EJ because I saw it, but I didn't take it. I didn't take EJ. The only thing I took was USD JPY, and that was just for like the 100 pips that he gave. And I'm like, okay, since GJ played out like that, it's your turn, and everything matched up, all the list, all the confluences were met and everything. So over trading is very, very wrong. You need to be able to control it. Over leveraging, you know, when you want to use standard lots by force, it will show you why it is called standard lot. It will show you, you know, why is only large accounts and people that know how to handle it can touch it. I've seen scenarios where a lot of people, like one of my friends told me that his friend, you know, turned $80 or $8 to like $800 with one trade in 2 days. And I'm like, oh, wow, that's awesome. I was able to do it. He said, okay, fine. I opened on a 0.1 lot size. And then when it got to 80, it just opened a standard lot size. I'm like, that must have been the sniper of all sniper entries. He said, yeah, his stop loss was like point zero something something. So he was able to do that and turn it to $800. But I'm like, is that person able to do that like on a weekly basis, or was that just a one-time thing? And he couldn't answer. Like, so he did do that, and it went in his favor. Fine. If you want to keep doing that, it's going to backfire because you've not built the muscle, like your consistency have not been built up to that point, right? So over leveraging is a no-no. It carries more risk than good, you know. Then overholding your trades when you're supposed to be out of a trade, you are sitting in it. Imagine I didn't close my GJ trade. It went in 400 pips, and now it pulled back 200 pips. Okay, although I still have it, I still think that it's going to go down, but that's what I think. That's what I want it to do. That's what I'm hoping it does. So those three things are not valid on the chart. It's not what I was seeing on the chart. I was seeing it hit the daily trend line. I was seeing reversals at that point in time. I was seeing weak exhaustions. But I was thinking, this thing can still go to 160. You know, that's where I want it to go. That's how I love it to go. You know, so close your trades. All right. So now let's move on to the very top emotion that every single trader needs to have to help you with the fear and the greed. And this cannot be taught. I can only tell you how it works. You have to be able to decide on your own to develop this emotion. And that is what plenty Lagosians don't have. Especially the ones that are driving. This is patience. Patience, the mother of all emotions, the mother of all trading emotions. Patience, 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 right? So there are 3 layers of patience in trading that you would have. You know, you will need to have patience for when you are waiting for your trades, when you are holding your trades, and when you are growing your account. So when you are waiting for your trades, you don't break your rules, okay? That's how you develop patience with trading. You don't break your rules. You take a decision to stick to your rules no matter what. You need to have a rule to follow in the first place, so that when things like come, when life gives you lemons, you make lemonade. Right? You stick to your rule. Don't get in too early. Sometimes, you know, that happens. And if you get in too early, you close out, you get in again, you refine your entries. You guys have seen that happen a lot. You refine your entries and then you watch, you know, what's going to happen. Don't get out too early. Even at the same time, just be patient. Don't chase trades that are already done. You want to be chasing the breakouts. You don't want to wait for a retest. Then holding on to trades, don't cut out your winning trades early. That's why I had to put it in the group that don't be scared of GJ. The way it's going back and forth, because I knew it was going to go to where it went to. And then, you know, it was just as it was happening, I knew like this is a great learning experience. Actually, maybe I'll do an in-depth video on liquidity on that. Like I was just thinking, you know, just to piggyback off the previous liquidity video that we did, because I saw it taking out liquidity a lot, and I'm like, you know, this is a really, really good learning experience. It was just going back and forth, and you know, even emotionally, when you enter into a consolidation too early, you enter into a trade and it goes into consolidation before actually going your way, and you're like, wow, how long is this going to take? So you're like, okay, this is taking too long. You need to be able to develop patience to hold your trade. Don't cut off your winning trades too early. Okay, wait for your take profit. One way you can do this is just to set and forget. Set and forget. That's a common term that a lot of traders use. Set and forget. It's a process whereby you set your trade and forget about it. Okay, so you leave it alone. For it to set your take profit, set your stop loss, and leave. Go and watch a movie. Go and feed your dogs. Go and do something else. Another place where you need to have patience is growing your account. Where you are growing an account, especially with low account that is not like up to $100,000, you need to be able to grow it with patience. Be patient with it. If I'm going to send you my trades now, you'll be seeing some standard lots that are placed there, and you might be thinking, oh, let me use this since Bolu is using this. We are not trading the same account. I'm using the accurate lot size for the kind of account that I'm trading in one account. There are some that I still use 0.01 on. So everybody's account is different. You need to understand where you are with your account and be patient with that. Have a plan with your account. That's why I gave you guys that assignment to have a goal every week to reach. If you have 25% every single week, that's like 100% every month. There is virtually no investment scheme that is legit that will give you 100% at the end of the month. And this one, you are literally in control of your own money. You're in control of your own money. So 25% every week is very doable with proper risk management. As long as you have this skill. So don't over leverage again. Don't over leverage. You will regret it eventually. Don't take shortcuts and have a long-term goal. So I also highlighted here some trading emotions that you need to manage every day, every single day emotions till you're able to master them, right? So there are some things that come up, especially if you are reading the news and trading at the same time. That is, a recipe for disaster. Reading the news at the same time, watching everything at the same time is going to give you a lot of anxiety, make you nervous, and all of those things. What I do is just read articles. The weekend I'm markupping, I'm doing my markup. I read a lot of articles as to what's going to happen, and I write out the high impact news. And sometimes I forget that we have high impact news. And with technical analysis it will go into play, but I just go. Then if during the week I need to look at it, either I look at it very early in the morning or late at night. And if maybe there is a breaking news or I see US 30 just move abruptly, I go and check YouTube for Yahoo Finance or any of these things if there is a live event going on, right? Because that's one of the causes. I go to my FX book, check for what is happening, what high impact news do we have today if I didn't write it on my board, and then I check YouTube and check if there is a live event going on, and I'm like, oh, okay, that's why. Well, it's still the same thing, just for me to know why, and because I've been able to read and understand fundamental analysis. I when they say this is happening, I know the implication. When they say that is happening, I know the implication. So I don't get too overworked up. The time when it wanted to start happening was the Russia war. When it first started in February, I was always reading the news till I had to catch myself and say, okay, no, we have to stop this. The war has started, it has started. We already know what it means. So just leave it alone. There's no need saying, oh, watching or this amount of people are injured and all of those things. It's just going to give you anxiety. So nervousness, overconfidence, fear, greed, anxiety, FOMO, doubt, you know, these are the things that you go through every day. So doubt is just like fear. When you doubt, the only way to overcome doubt is to doubt your doubt. So you need to doubt that doubt, basically, right? Same way with fear, you need to override it with something you believe in, okay? And then with nervousness and anxiety, you need to try to understand where it's coming from, what is causing this anxiety to happen. Then overconfidence will lead you to your greed, okay? Because you think like, oh, I won the last trade, I can win many more trades, right? Then we talked about fear of missing out. Now, these are the things that I have highlighted for you to overcome these things. So with nervousness, you have to develop courage. Develop courage. Les Brown said, courage is not the absence of fear, but it is doing something while you are afraid, while you are still afraid. So you need to do it afraid. You need to do it afraid. Remember when I first started the Signal group, and then we had like 2 or 3 losses back to back. I was like, wow, okay, I can handle this, but can they handle it? This is why I didn't want to do a Signal group in the first place. You know, I know that at the end of the week, I'm going to be all right, but people might not have that, emotional maturity to be able to adapt to the situation, and I can enter some trades that would cover up for it. I just have to look at it critically. But I had to develop courage because I was nervous at that time with the Signal groups, but I had to, keep doing it. I had to summon courage and like just send it out like that, send it out like that. And I was able to do that. That came from experience of me back testing and understanding that my trades play out back to back. So these ones that I'm sending, they are no different. And even the ones that hit stop loss was simply because we entered early. So I had to give it a rethink. I did not tell myself like I'm wrong, or I'm losing, what's wrong with me, No, we've grown past that. We now think about the things that we need to do to move forward. We think about it clearly. So overconfidence, you need to be realistic about the thing that is happening. Don't just, carry shoulder up and wear shoulder pad because, like for example, now, just because we won last week, now I'm not like, yes, everybody keep entering trades. This GJ, stay in the cell. Don't worry, it's going to go down, No, you need to be able to manage it, be realistic about what is happening, take your profit and leave the market alone. Fear, what can help you with your fear is to be confident. Be confident, be confident, be confident. The only way to be confident is to become confident. Just be bold. Decide to be confident about your trades and just like take it from there. With greed, you need to stop over trading. Greed and overconfidence go hand in hand. Like we already talked about this, stop over leveraging, stop over trading. Anxiety, the same thing with courage. You have to do it like that. You have to do it the way you are feeling. That's the way that feeling is going to go away. FOMO, take a second and take a third look before you enter. Take a second and take a third look. Like a week ago, somebody messaged me and was like, he gave me one strategy that someone is using in crypto, and you know how the person was able to catch pips. The person is making $100,000 every day, and he told me we can do this, we can do that. I am definitely not doubting that that person is making that kind of money. Of course, it happened. And he was like, okay, so I want to buy XRP now. I want to do this, do this, do this, do this. And I looked at it like, nope, this is already giving me a little bit of anxiety. So no, I'm not doing it. No matter how much you make, kudos to you. Good, like, you'll be fine. Okay, I'm already good. Thank you very much. So I took a second look at it, at whatever it was given to me, and I decided I wasn't going to take it. So you need to be able to wait and analyze by yourself, have a mind of your own. Don't just follow the crowd. Then doubts. How to doubt your doubts in trading is back testing and forward testing. Like, just watch your markups play out back to back to back to back. Watch your markups play out back to back. Then you'll be able to overcome that doubt that you feel. So does anyone have any question as we go over to the last part of this?
No, ma'am, for now.
No? Okay. So hope you guys are following though.
Yes, ma'am. I'm following you.
Okay. All right, so let's move on to the trading plan. What your trading plan should contain. Your trading plan should contain the main pairs that you trade, their trading sessions, your weekly pip goal, your short-term trading goal, and your long-term trading goal. So the main pairs that you trade is supposed to be you trade. The main pairs you trade, so there shouldn't be more than there shouldn't be more than 7 or 4, you know, depending on what the relationship you've developed with them. I trade 2 currencies. Okay, 1 currency self, 1 commodity, and 1 indices per time. So the main pairs that you trade should be there. The trading session, mine is London, mostly. That's when I trade mostly. Then weekly pip goal. What's your weekly pip goal? You can do 10% per week. You can do 20% per week. You can do 25% per week. Then your short-term trading goal, like, you know, do you want to? I remember when, you know, I was having a short-term goal about mastering 50 pips every week, right? Just being able to catch 50 pips every week. That was my goal, you know. So that's what I mean by short-term goal. So do you want to be able to master your entries in this way? What do you want to be able to see? What's this one thing that you want to see within this period of time? What's this one thing that you want to master? Then your long-term goals and all that, like your lot size goal. You know, I think I was sharing with Diana the other day that I have a goal for US 30, which is to be able to use 10 lots on it. That's my long-term goal. 10 lots, that's 10.00 on US 30. I am not able to do that right now. No, that's just crazy. So that's like I think that's 100K per 10 pips. Yeah. So that's I have like trading goals that I have, and there are some that I had in January that I've met. Those are short-term goals, and now you have to keep setting new ones every day. So changing your, not every day, like over time when you put them. So have a short-term goal, have a lot size goal that you want to have. Then you should also have your analysis checklist. I always tell my students 3 things. should validate your entries before you take your entries. Have 3 confluences. So what do you have? What are you seeing? Is price at a support zone? What's also at that support zone? You want to see what's around that area to be able to take that trade. You need multiple things to help you to give you that confidence that this is what's going to happen. That is what's going to give you that confidence that these trades play out, these positions. Then apart from your analysis checklist, have your entries checklist. So now liquidity has been added to my entries checklist because I've noticed the market is acting erratic these days before the trades actually play out. So you want to have the things that you're looking at. Number one, your break and retest, those things should be there. And then what do you look out for when that break and retest has already happened? Then you also want to have your emotions and your management plan. Your emotions management plan. So all the things we talked about. So when you are angry with the market, when you are angry, you should be able to identify that this is anger, and how do you deal with that at that point in time? When you are sad, because the truth is that when you blow accounts back to back, Forex can send you into a quick depression. So you need to be able to handle yourself and come back up. And if that has happened to you or is happening to you, you should understand that the market keeps moving and you are the one that can get yourself out of it. Nobody is going to save you. Nobody is going to come. Nobody's going to do anything. It is in your hands to stand up and back test. So you don't have to go back again, do different assignments again, and try to align yourself with your pair all over again. It's going to be hard. It's not going to be easy, but you need to realign yourself, because there are times when you have like winning streaks, and then you have a loss and you're like, oh, I thought I've overcome this. I thought this is not supposed to happen to me again. Or, all of those things. You've done it before, you can do it again. Really, that's how I usually used to get out of everything that I've gone through, because I lost a lot in this market until I was able to control myself and get myself back on track. Right? So you have to be able to manage your emotions very well. Then your exit plan. What do you do if if price hits your take profit level, but you still see some potential for it to go? Do you want to hold it and be greedy, or do you want to leave with the money that you have and all that? So you should have that plan in check. Then those are the main things for your trading plan. So remember, I mentioned that you should have your weekly goal set of 25% of your account, right? Plus 25% of that account. So let's say we have an account of $1,000. 25% of $1,000 is $250, right? Are you guys following?
Yes, we have.
25%. Okay, so to get $250 on a 0.1 lot size, which is the recommended lot size for $1,000, that's 0.1. So you need what? How many pips to get $250? You need exactly 250 pips. Right? So, okay, I hope you can see this background, but so you need 250 pips to do that. So what are your markups saying, and how are you going to break it down, to be able to get that amount of pips per week? Do you understand? So how many, what trades do you have in play? Like what's your markup saying? So if you think this is very, very achievable, you can see that if you do this in 4 weeks, you'll be able to get like your account up by 100%, right? So this is what we mean by sticking to your plan. So you don't just go and open like a 0.5 lot trade and say, oh, you want to just use this one to do 25 pips and you've gotten your $250, or if you use this to do 50 pips and you've gotten your $250, you've met your goal. No, you have to do it step by step. Even if you have to break this lot size down into 0.05, like twice, according to what you are trading and according to how you are doing it. And then you make sure you are risking 1%. 1% of this is $10. So you need to be able to manage your risk well. You know that $10 will quickly be hit with your 0.1 lot size. So you can break your lot size down to 0.5 and manage that as it goes. Does that make sense to you guys?
Yes,
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so do you have any questions before we leave?
I have a question. Why aren't we allowed to trade more than maybe trade most of the currencies, like just all of them? Like if you get, is it that when you are trading, just maybe you said you should trade like 7, like if we see opportunity in another, so we should not take it, or we should just focus on the pairs that we are familiar with?
Okay, so the reason it is advisable, it's not like you are not allowed. Trading has no walls, right? But the reason it is advisable for you to focus on a few pairs is because your energy goes where your focus is. And you are human that is dealing with every other thing apart from trading. Okay, there's something called tunnel vision, right? Where you are in the tunnel, the only thing you can see is just straightforward, right? So if you are trading GBP USD and then you're trading AUD NZD, you have to understand what is happening in GBP and USD, then also understand what is happening in AUD itself, that's Australia and New Zealand, to be able to take decisions on those trades, because you are trading like a professional. You are not just trading like a random person, gambler that wants to just quickly make money in the market. So it is because of the amount of time that it takes to study even one particular pair and understand how it moves. That is why it is advisable for you to just focus on a few. If not, just focus on 3. And it helps you with your discipline. It helps you with your focus, with your commitment, with your consistency. So it literally makes you a more mature trader than somebody that is just trading everything. Trading GBP CHF, then trading AUD card. That's like they are just off. So it helps with your focus. The market is there, but you need to decide to pick the ones that you want to work with. Okay, and you understand that you can't be up in every session. So you know that GU moves mostly in London and New York session. So you're able to time yourself well. With JPY also, you can see JPY is a very demanding pair. Okay, you need to understand how they really, really move. And each and every pair, actually, they move. No pair is better than the other. There are people that literally trade USD ZAR on a daily basis. That's South African Rand. So you just have to pick the one that like you vibe with. My own decision with picking GJ and gold was just me just vibing with both of them. I've always traded gold. I've traded gold like since the beginning of my trading, since I discovered it and saw that a lot of people were scared of it. And I'm like, that's the one. And then it showed me Pepe. I'm like, I'm not going to leave you till I figure it out. you know, and I stayed the course. And I just understood, like, it's still technical analysis. Gold is not different from any other thing. And same thing with US 30 that I'm learning is still the same thing, right? So it's just that they move faster than the rest. Where your CHF, card CHF is doing an impulse move, and that impulse move, the entire impulse move that it does is only 40 pips. And gold does an impulse move and it does like 150 pips in the same move. Even GJ, the same kind of structure move. So, you know, you just have to figure out the one you want to stick with. All those other pairs, they are called cross pairs. They can help you develop patience and, you know, slow and steady, you know, and that kind of thing. So it's very highly recommended. If you want to be part of the 1% of traders, you don't trade everything. Yeah, does that answer your question?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
So I guess you have to send me your pairs that are trading now.
Okay, ma'am.
So do you guys have any other questions? David, are you good? Francisca? Diana?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, all right. So if
Yes, I'm good. Thank you so much.
Yeah, okay. So if you don't have any questions, take care and make sure you apply everything that we just talked about. And let me share my screen. I wanted to share some trades with you guys. I forgot. So hold on. Wait. Let me quickly show the trades that I'm looking at. Not like I really mark them up that much. Yeah. Oh, okay. So can you see my chart?
Yes, we can.
Okay, so we are currently in this GU trade. After this pullback does what it's doing, I'm still looking to add one more position for the buy, but I'm watching for it to go to this area here to see if it will stay there, right? Before taking it up. My take profit is around this level here, where this other block, hold on. Here, this zone here, close to this monthly level. So that's where we are with GJ. If it does this, mind you, it might not actually come down here, but we are just leaving out, you know, that possibility that it does that and pull back to that level or here, right? So with gold also in this buy, and you can see what I've done here. This is what I'm expecting with gold. The first move that I had, which is a very minor structure, I was telling you guys on Friday that I can see a buy on gold, but I just entered it like around here, around 1787 or so. Another one around 1790, and I just put buy stops and orders there, and that already played out. You know, when market opened, I took out some, and then I just left one to keep running to see how far it would go. And when I saw that, I sent out the signal. So we are still in this, looking for it to touch TP2. You can see when it created like an impulse move correction. So that correction is what we are watching for it to do. And I can actually adjust my fib like this because this is the highest point that I came to. So I want to see how how the correction is going to happen. Okay, so this can easily do this also, come back to before actually pushing up, right? So, but hopefully we'll watch what it's saying. With GJ, yes, GJ hits the first take profit level here. That's the buy that we had on it. Such a beautiful buy from last night to now. And then now we're starting the continuation of that downtrend. So I want to see more confirmations before actually getting into this trade. So when it is, yeah, I want to see more confirmations during London tomorrow, because the market was not really active today that much. And same with UJ. I'm expecting it to drop also, continue its drop, which is looking like it's starting because it rejected in this area. If you see a red line on my chart, that is like a red line like this, that is like an alert. So I set an alert in this area and it rejected off of that. So why did I set it? It was because of like a previous zone here that price is testing, which is also take profit, one of these minor structure moves that it did coming up to retest, and it's still around this 4-hour trend line. So yeah, what I'm watching for UJ to do is to drop to this zone here, but we'll manage it once we have a break of this key level here that I'm looking at. I'll see what it will give more extra confirmation. Okay, because the DXY is weakening, currently at a resistance level. Ultimately the DXY is supposed to is bullish, right? But for now, we are sitting at the resistance level, and yeah, I'm remarking up this. So sitting at previous resistance, major resistance. So it's gonna do a little pullback first. Should calm down. Yeah. And yeah, UCAD also is also one that I'm watching for it to drop. Actually, UCAD has been a little bit nice because inside this consolidation that it did, I took this buy trade and then this sell one coming down to this place. Then we had a break of that trend line that I drew there and then a retest. So that's what's happening now. So if I'm going to enter this, I'll wait for this to break that support level, minor support level, which is the second, confirmation after this retest of this trend line here. You can see the retest, the rejection and that retest is strong. So I'll wait for it to come down to, I think we have a 4-hour zone. Okay, no, I was looking at this weekly level. So let me draw this. Yeah, ultimately, yeah. You can see how I'm tackling the card inside of this consolidation. Waiting for it to come to this level. So it's like a little bit for this week, Sha. Let's watch. Okay. So yeah, and that's it for some that I'm using. I don't have bus pattern here because when I do, I will send, but I don't force my bus pattern. When they come, they come. It's like, I don't know. When they are ready, they come. But I do see where price is going. That's because I've used it back to back to back. So I'm just like, So when they come anyways. So that's it. That's my chart. I'll send screenshots when I can see something. It's looking like this market will be interesting from Thursday more, but whatever happens, we are here for it. So may the pips be with us. Good night, guys.
Amen.